Hello everyone, this is my first tabletop video of me drawing and I thought I'd give it a go because I've had artist block for a while now and let's let my imagination choose where this video goes. Let's hope it's fun. Here's a few of my previous sketches, so this is the most recent one for me. This is a depiction of me for addiction. So addiction in this form is obviously the tablet and the casket and the here lies this all that toxicity and all that kind of stuff is what I'm trying to focus on in this piece. So I hope you like this one. The second one here is my difference between darkness and light with a candle and the bottle and the map and the coins. I was a lot on line work here and just trying to get that difference in contrast. But the proportions are a bit off, but this was drawn about 3 years ago, so things can get better from here on out, if I do say so myself. This next one is the most loved piece of mine. This has more meaning to it than any other piece I've done so far. This is the quote that is on my brother's gravestone. Unfortunately, we lost him due to addiction and his mental health. So this is a really big, meaningful piece to me. It's the one thing that I really loved when I did it, so I've kept it that way since. Like I said before, these are all from like 2018. Here's my next piece. This is a lot of line work. This is my next sketchbook, and I do like to focus on line work in this one. I like looking at buildings and picking certain aspects out to sketch, and as you can see in this, I've tried it, and I've tried to pick out sconces, all these kind of things, like everything in, just the art of a building. It's great. These are some more line work. I did some colour copies because I like to keep the original sketch and then figure out if it will look good in colour or not, and in this case it did look good in colour as well, but I didn't want to ruin that. So on the topic of heavy line work, I do like line work. It's my favourite way to draw. If I could keep everything line work, I would. It's just you can't really get it on canvas and it look good sometimes, so this is what I like to do. Candles again, for some reason I really like drawing candles on rocks and all these kind of things. Here's some more line work, like a coffee shop kind of vibe. Here's another piece where I've done the coloured version and the line work version. I use a light box underneath to, illuminate it so I can copy it out, and that worked perfectly in this case. I really do like these sketches, and these are the ones that are in my pride in my heart. This next one is a quick sketch of something I actually made into a bigger piece. I will put a photo of that now. So this next piece just shows how great I am at art. Like, that is my finest piece yet. That is a masterpiece. It is classy, it is bougie, it was never finished because sometimes art should never be finished, especially when it looks like that. But now I've given you that tour, I think it's about time we got on with the main piece, and at this point I didn't know what I was doing. My artist block was in the way and I was like, what do I actually want to draw? What am I thinking? Am I painting? Am I drawing? I don't know. In the end, I decided I was going to just draw the sketch and see where it went from there. And that is exactly what I did. And here's me showing you how small my hands are compared to an A4 piece of paper. Very small. That's all I need to tell you, that I have very small hands, but they do good jobs. At this point, I realised how much I hated normal pencils, so I went and got my mechanical pencil from under my bed, where it's been laying for a long time and not being used. Out my box of madness of art supplies that I've gained over the years, let me tell you, I have basically gained a lot of debt from a credit card just by buying art supplies, but I've sorted that out now because I'm a big boy and have to sort out my debts. And yeah, so here I'm just, figuring out what I want to do, stretching a little, kind of figuring out what's going on, enjoy my hairy arms. But here is where I'm kind of going through the process of like, what I'm actually going to draw, what do I want to draw? And then it was just get stuck in there from there on, really. The video paused at this point, so, I was just me in the shadow, like, debating my life. That was great fun. At this point, I knew what I wanted to do, so I was just cracking on, seeing, how I wanted to set it out, and that's where this main piece starts. So enjoy this time lapse of me creating the image that comes up in the end, which is Rick's bottle. So at this point, I'm erasing all the lines that you can see, and I was gonna do all the line work and get everything ready, and then all the shavings went everywhere. So I got my spray duster out and sprayed everything away. It was great fun. And then I got stuck into the details. Now the details were very easy to do. It was just like trying to figure out how I wanted it set up. Obviously, there was no previous sketches to this, so it is just kind of what it is and what's going on in my head and just get it down on paper, which I think turned out pretty well in this case. Here I'm making some kind of highlight areas, so we have white areas for like the reflection on the bottle. I'm not very good with light and dark, so like reflections and like where light should be hitting and stuff like that. I'm not very good at knowing where that should be. But in this case, I've just put it anywhere. I'm very on the side of making things vibrant and stick out rather than, caring about the realism of them as much. I'm more of a graphic kind of person. So here I am starting with the head of Rick. So at this point, I didn't know what I was going to put on there, and then I thought, what cartoon character can I put on this bowl? And then I was like, Rick. Rick from Rick and Morty. That would be perfect, and that's what I started with. I done his mouth a bit too big, so I had to redo that. I mean, the proportions are alright. I don't know, I feel like it could look better. But here I am getting stuck in his face and trying to figure out how many teeth he has because I have to count all those in the photo. It's great fun. So I was kind of like looking at Pinterest and looking at the photos on there, just having a look around, see what I wanted to do, and that's where I got Rick from. It's a perfect idea. Get him on there, get him on a bottle. I thought Rick on a beer bottle couldn't be more perfect. And yeah, so here is where I went from there, and it's just line work and going over the bits that I'd already done, trying to figure out if it looks right or not. The hair, for me, was personally the worst part. I know it's so simple, but that's what makes it harder when you've got a simple thing to do in a piece and the rest is complicated. So it was just like, it was really hard for me to get the hair perfect as it is in like all the cartoons and like the animation and stuff. So here I am trying to count out how many points there is on his head. You can see my head in the shadow, like turning, looking at my computer screen to figure out how many points there is supposed to be. And then I was like, yeah, count that, that will do. That looks fine. So here I am going in, just like kind of giving it a bit more shape, and I think it looked pretty good afterwards. Got his torso in there, it looks great. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. At this point, I was happy with what I got going on, and then I was like, what can I do on the little label at the top? I was like, I call it Rick's, Rick's beer, but just put Rick's on there because it could be beer, it could be sludge, it could be anything, anything and everything because he's been to how many dimensions and universes? I don't think we need to go through that. But I thought this looked great, and then I went back in with the line work. Now the line work was great fun. I enjoyed doing line work. Sometimes it can ruin a piece, so it's like, oh, it's you don't have a steady hand as well. It's like, I don't have the most steady hands, but I know what I'm doing. I have this like little thing where some pieces I like to, like break up the lines with dots instead. Kind of looks like Morse code, but it's not that cool, And here I am just lining everything, and yeah, let me just go back into the time lapse with you and stop talking to you because I think you've heard enough of my voice so far.